to Whatever It Takes, a podcast about Degrassi the Next Generation. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Holland. And today we're talking about Season 7, Episode 18, Another Brick in the Wall. And Kelsey, will you please kick things off and read us the Degrassi Wiki summary of this episode?
Sure. Emma finds herself caught in no man's land between her parents as Snake's verdict on his sexual misconduct hearing looms. I mean, not really.
It doesn't loom because we know what happens immediately.
Yeah, like it's in the cold open.
But she is kind of caught between her parents, so A for effort, Wiki.
I guess,
sure. But the episode is called Another Brick in the Wall, which is based on technically 3 songs, 3 parts of a song of an epic of a rock opera. I don't know. It's Pink Floyd. I'm probably going to be playing part 2 in the background because that's the version everybody's familiar with. But it's a Pink Floyd song, 3 songs, whatever, that came out in, 1979. But it was November 1979, so it probably charted in 1980. So I guess I'll give you a pass, Degrassi writers, for calling it Another Brick in the Wall, even though not technically an 80s song, I guess. But I mean, I'm sure it was popular in the 80s.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
I was like really, really into Pink Floyd for a little bit in high school.
That does not surprise me in the slide.
Nope. I am a cliche.
I mean, yeah, whenever... Well, now I'm, like, more interested in them just because we did a Pink Floyd Newsweek issue at work, like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was still working there at the time.
And it was very interesting. It was a great issue. I really liked doing all those music issues that we don't do anymore. But as far as the episode title, I mean... Holly J needs education help, and Spike is having trouble getting back into education. Snake is having trouble. It doesn't really work because Another Brick in the Wall is not even really about school.
No.
But I mean, no. This isn't really a great one. It doesn't really connect.
Fucked up Degrassi.
I mean, I guess there are only so many songs. But it's also like, okay, whatever. Good try. Anyway, the episode starts with Damien and Emma are like hanging out on her couch.
Because I guess this is still happening.
Whatever. Because he snuck in, even though he's not supposed to be there, because Snake isn't allowed to have like other students in the house while he's waiting to hear back about shit.
But also it's a pretty good rule because Emma's supposed to be babysitting a child. And I never understood that, like the boyfriend coming over and the babysitter getting in trouble because the boyfriend came over. Like, why are you trying to make out with your boyfriend when you're like watching an infant?
I mean, maybe if the infant's asleep and you're like, what do I do now?
Eat snacks and watch TV.
I mean, that's what I did. Please. You think I was ever cool enough to like invite a boy over to any place that I was babysitting? Like, no.
Yeah, no, I would eat snacks and watch TV.
Oh, yeah. Eat their food and watch TV, watch their movies. I remember one time I babysat with my sister Allegra, and after the kids went to sleep, we watched Moulin Rouge, and I was like on the couch crying and like being emotional about it. And she was like, why do you like this movie?
I love Allegra. Allegra will never understand our love for Baz Luhrmann.
I know. I mean, Baz Luhrmann is like, you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. He's a very polarizing filmmaker.
It's fair.
Although I've never watched The Get Down.
Me neither, but I hear good things.
Yeah. I think it's Jaden Smith is keeping me away, but I don't know.
I think I like him.
I don't know how I feel about him, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so and then like her parents come home from a date and they're fighting, and
apparently like Snake was really rude to the waiter.
Yeah, and he's like kind of unraveling.
Yeah, I just wrote down, oh god, Snake is spiraling.
Yeah, and Damien like sneaks out and runs out real fast, and they don't get caught. I don't think.
No.
So
I don't know why it happened. I guess it was to remind us that
this is still something that's happening.
Yeah, and like
this is the only time we see him in the whole episode.
Yeah. It was definitely just to remind us that like, oh yeah, this is so serious that like other students can't be in this house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. And then they get a phone call and Snake answers it and then he hangs it up and he's like, what has two thumbs and is officially not a pedophile? This guy. I'm like, that was a weird choice of breaking that news.
I mean, it's a very Snake choice.
That's very true.
It's in character.
Yeah.
But it is weird as hell.
I was like, what? But yay. Yay. He can go back to school. He's not a pedophile. Woohoo.
But they drag out the like him on the phone looking so serious thing for so long.
Yeah.
Like we know what it's gonna be, you guys.
Yeah. But then the next day they go to school and Snake is all nervous and then they walk by fucking Lucas and Johnny DeMarco and they like make comments at him. They're like, "Oh, letting you back in," and then Johnny DeMarco's just like perv or something like that.
He says perv says what? Because he's very mature, but also like
because it's Johnny DeMarco.
First of all, Lucas, I fucking hate his stupid bear juggalo guts.
I hate him so much.
I hate him.
Mia, why?
Oh, come on.
Mia, why? He's awful. There's nothing redeeming about him.
I hate him. But like fucking Johnny DeMarco, like I get that like his entire like deal is that he just instigates, but he was literally just saying like 2 episodes ago, I can't wait until your stepdad comes back. I actually miss him.
Yeah.
Mr. Perino is terrible.
Yeah.
So why are you driving him away, you dickwad?
Come on, Johnny DeMarco. What the fuck are you doing?
I think Johnny DeMarco is just like, he really like just buckles under peer pressure.
Yeah, he's people pleaser.
Like I think that he would be like a sweet boy if he had like proper friends.
Yeah, he's just fell in with the wrong crowd and has been going with that ever since.
It's that Lakehurst crowd, man.
Ugh.
They're just trouble.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of goons.
I actually now can't wait till we get to the part where he dates Sav's sister.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Although I'm pretty sure he's awful to her.
He's really, I remember bits and pieces because I wasn't really watching, but yeah, he's definitely a shitbag.
Yeah, which isn't a surprise.
No, I'm not shocked.
But and then
he's a real Peter.
But then Snake is like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be here." And Emma's like, "Come on, like you can't let what they say like hinder you from doing this. Come on."
Can I just say that Stefan Brogren, is that how you pronounce his name?
I think so.
I don't know. He is great in this episode.
He's great.
He's so expressive. He acts drunk like so convincingly. Like dude has chops.
Yeah. He can, yeah, he's great. I love him. Does a great job. But then we are in Mr. Armstrong's class and the B plot, and Anya and Mia, they're like getting all their tests back, and Anya and Mia like both did fine, and Holly J got her test back and has like a 56 and she's failing math, and they're like, "How did you do?" And she's like, "Don't be nosy." And then she's like, "Anya, let's hang out after school." And Anya is saying, "Oh no, but I'm hanging out with Sav." And then Mia's like, "We should double date." And I was like, that sounds like an awkward double date.
Sounds like a really weird double date. It's a double date plus a child.
Also, I feel like Lucas would not do well on a double date.
I feel like Lucas wouldn't do well in most social situations.
Even just like on a date period. But his idea of a date would probably be like driving somewhere and parking and hanging out. Or I don't know, whatever. And then Holly J is like, I think she's like, "That sounds like a terrible time," or something. I don't know. I think she says something about Mia's baby daddy, because of course she does. And then Mia's like, "Somebody's single and bitter." I'm like, huh, lol. Yeah, true. Same. I get it.
I mean, yeah, I you almost feel for Holly J, because Holly J is just like trying so hard all the time.
Yeah,
like Holly J, she's so mean, but she's also just like the most try hard.
Oh, for sure. And that's kind of the end of that scene. And then we're in the bathroom, and Darcy's in there, and Emma walks in, and Darcy's like, "Oh, sorry, I'll leave." And Emma's like, "I was actually looking for you." And she's like, "Mr. Simpson's back. It's great. Yay, whatever. I need your help with something." I'm like, I feel like having Darcy help with something with your dad is still like a weird idea and maybe not a good idea.
I mean, I think that maybe her reasoning is that like well, if the person who accused him, who then rescinded it, is like, yes, we want him to come back, then you should know that it was fake.
I guess so.
I think that that's like her logic.
Yeah. So then they like walk around with like a big like welcome back card, and they like want everybody to come sign it. And Mandy comes up and signs it, and she's like, and then I'll sign another name with my left hand, Mrs. J. Hogarth. And it's very sweet.
It's so sweet. I already miss Jay.
I know. Where is he?
Why is Jay not in every single episode?
Right? They're like not utilizing their most important asset. And then Lucas and Mia like walk by, and they're like, will you sign it? And like Mia like lifts her hand, and Lucas like pushes it down and like, we're not signing this. He's a pervert. Blah. And I'm like, I do not like how he's controlling Mia.
No.
But then Mia is like, I mean, you said that he did it and then you didn't. It's confusing. I don't know. And I'm like, Mia, what? You're better than this.
She is better than this. But also, to be fair, Darcy has wronged her a lot.
That's true.
So if she can have an excuse to be snotty to Darcy, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't like Lucas controlling her. And I don't like his whole, like, bullshit excuse of, like, well, I have a daughter. It's like, yeah, you only started giving a shit.
Barely.
Yeah, you only started giving a shit when you were like, you know what? I would really want to, like, fuck Mia again.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Ugh.
Like, she lost that baby weight.
I hate him.
I hate him so much.
But then we are with Liberty and Toby, and Liberty's, like, stressing out about passing the torch on after she leaves to like the president. She's like, one of these like infants are going to have to be president next. I don't know what to do. And then Holly J comes in and is like, can I talk to you, Toby? And she asks him for help, for tutoring help in math. And she's like, my sister said you were the nerdiest. I mean, the best at math or something. And Toby is like, I think she's like says that she'll pay him, and then of course Toby makes it creepy and is like, "Well, if I scratch your back, you should scratch mine," and it's creepy.
Always make Toby creepy, but before he was creepy, he was funny. Like he had some funny lines. He's like, "Liberty, don't leave me with her,"
yeah,
because Liberty is like, "Peace."
Like, am I not getting in the middle of this?
And then Holly J is like, "Can I talk to you?" And he's like, "I must you?" Like he like says something funny.
It's great. But then we are back at the Nelson Simpson household, and Spike and Snake are fighting. And Spike is like pressuring him to go back because Emma's stressing out and is trying to control things. And then she's like, are you sure you weren't actually really careful? Like, are you scared about going back for a different reason? And it's a terrible fight, and I hate it.
It really bummed me out.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like it. And then Emma like walks in and sees it. And
she's using Emma as the excuse. She's like, she's trying to control things. And, like, I get it. Yeah. But, I mean, that's not the only thing at work here, for sure.
No. And she kind of throws, like, his infidelity in his face again, too, during the fight. And it's all terrible, and I don't like it when they fight.
It is terrible. I get sad when mom and dad fight, too.
But then we are with Toby and Holly J. I think they're like tutoring, and then he says something about her smiling. I don't really remember what it was.
Oh, it was actually kind of sweet because she's like, because he shows her how to do something with like graphing, calculating on the computer. Like, no, I sound like such a like on the computer machine. Anyway, so he teaches her something about graph like calculating whatever, and she's like, wow, I wish Mr. Armstrong had taught me this. And he's like, Mr. Armstrong doesn't know how to do this. And I'm like, okay, Toby. And she mentions something about like, you know, it's crazy like that he likes this kind of thing. And he's like, well, he's like, well, I would hate like jumping around in front of the school. And he's talking about Spirit Squad, and she's like, what? And he's like, well, it's the only time you're not scowling.
Right. And she's like 10 years of jazz and whatever of tap taught me like to save your smiles for when they count or something like that.
Which actually I kind of get it.
And then after they're done like mathing, Toby is like, all right, so now it's your turn to do me a favor. And then she's like, I'm not giving you my underwear. And he's like,